Guys, I'm Richard. Tonight we are going British. Fish and chips. Easy to do. There's steps to get there, but I tell you what, they're so flavorful, they're so crispy. The crispiness is the key to this, and there's certain steps that you have to take to get there. So let's get started with it. Man, I've been really excited about this. This is fish and chips. A lot of us go to Long John Silver's and taste that crispiness of that fish and those chips or French fries. But anyway, I've got a russet potato here. I've washed, I've let dry, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these up into chips. Not going to be too big, but they're not going to be in the shape of the traditional French fries. So you just chop them up, cut them up like this, about a 1/4 inch slices like that. And I just cut them about twice that way. So that's what you end up with, about like that. Get your chips cut up, put them in a bowl of cold water. Add some ice and let these set for 30 minutes. What this is going to do is remove most of that starch from the outside of those potatoes, and therefore it makes them crisper when you put them in that hot oil. Then we're going to take a bowl, put 1 cup of all-purpose flour. We're going to start making our batter. I'm going to put a teaspoon of baking powder in there. What this does is help with the puffiness of our batter once the fish goes in the oil. A teaspoon of cornstarch. Excuse me. What this does is delay the development of the gluten in the flour. Just a touch of cayenne pepper, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon, just for flavor and a little bit of bite, and some paprika. What paprika is going to do is give the fish batter that color that we want, that golden color. And we just whisk this up. Now once you've got your flour mixed up, just make a divot in the middle of it. Now my favorite part, cold beer. Make sure it's cold. About 6 ounces to start with. You'll notice that it foams up. That's what you want. It's just going to add to the fluffiness to our fish batter. Just give this a good mix. Once you get consistency that you want, you don't really have to worry about the lumps right now, but that's what we're looking for right there. Now what we want to do is put this in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes. That will help to the puffiness of our batter once we coat our fish with it. I've taken our chips out of the ice water bath. I'm going to lay them out on a clean towel and just give them a good pat dry. We want them to be as dry as possible. I've got a cast iron Dutch oven heating up to 275, and what we want to do is we want to blanch these potatoes for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to take them out and set them aside while we work on our fish. Our oil is at 275. We'll go ahead and drop our chips. And we're not looking to cook these all the way through just yet. All we're doing is just to get just a little color and to soften them up. And that takes about 5 minutes. Alright. Our chips are just starting to develop a little color. And that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for them to be cooked just yet, because we're going to double fry these when we start cooking our fish. We're going to fry them up, crisp them up, golden them up at about 350. So let's set this aside, let them cool just a bit, and let's start on our fish. The type of fish I'm using tonight is cod. That's commonly used for fish and chips. You can also use haddock, tilapia, or any kind of whitefish will work. But it's just me tonight, so I'm just going to make 2 pieces, maybe to go along with my chips. And you just cut them up about like that. Now you want to have another bowl of flour. that we're going to use as our dredging agent. We're just going to put a little pepper in there, just a pinch of salt, take our fish and pat them dry as best you can get them. The less moisture on your fish when you go to dredge them and then dip them in your batter, the better. Excuse me. Okay, next thing, just lightly dredge your fish in your flour mixture. You don't want to overdo this. You don't want to compound layers of flour on this. Give it a pat dry. Set that on the side. What this is going to do is help our batter stick to the fish a lot better. Okay, let's check on our oil. Our oil is at 350. What you want to do is just dip your fish, get it really coated in your batter. Let all that excess drip off, even if you have to rub it on the sides there, because that is going to be perfect once you stick it in this oil. Let it all drip and just gently set it in your oil till you're sure it's not going to stick on the bottom, and set it in there. Dredge your other fish in your batter. Drip off the excess. And lay it in your batter. You can already see how that fish is puffing up. It takes about 4 or 5 minutes. Here's a little tip. After a couple of minutes, drizzle some of your batter on top of each fish, piece of your fish. That's going to add to the puffiness and the texture of your batter. We also want to take some of our batter and just dip it in the oil. That's going to give us those great golden brown, crunchy little things that you may remember seeing at Long John Silver's or something like that. You got to watch that because it doesn't take long, guys. Maybe a minute or two to brown those up. 5 minutes, our fish is going to be done. We're just going to set this on a wire rack. It's a good idea not to put them on paper towels because all that does is make the bottom soggy, but that's the color you're looking for on your fish. Now, as far as our little chips we got going down here, our little bits, they're done too. We're just going to dig those out of there. We'll serve that in our basket. We'll set that aside. Now let's finish off our chips, guys. It'll take about 3 or 4 minutes, and doing it this way really makes these chips really crispy and golden brown. Just easily set them in there, let them golden up and crisp up, and we'll be ready to eat. Alright guys, look at that. Our chips are done. Let's go ahead and bowl them up. So crispy. Like I said, the key to fish and chips, as far as the fish and the chips, the star of the show is the crispiness. I tell you what, that's really good. Alright, let's plate this up and give them a try. Now another little trick. The English, when they came up with this in about 1860, they used to wrap their fish and serve it in newspaper. So I thought, ha, why not? So look at here. I've got a couple of pieces of fish. Look at that golden brown color and that puffiness on there. I'm going to add some of these crunchy things to it. Those are good, those little crunchy things. And of course our chips. We're going to add our chips to the mix. Now you can serve this up with several things. One of the classic ways is ketchup and mushy peas, which we've made. So we've got that going. We salted the chips. And there you go, guys. Fish and chips, homemade. It's so easy to do. It's kind of fun too. So let's give them a try. Last thing, I'm gonna give the fish a little squirt of lemon. You can also, another thing that they do is malt vinegar. I ain't got none of that. And when I went to the store today to get it, I kind of forgot. So, all right, guys, let's give this fish a try. Look at that golden color on that. Homemade fish and chips. Give this a try, guys. Until next time, see you later. Be nice to